Absolutely.
You know, it's bad enough.
Right. Let me tell you, the Hollywood grapevine is bussin' today. Jennifer Garner? Done. Had it. She's straight up calling Blake Lively out her name, labeling her a certified husband snatcher. Y'all heard me. Our girl Jen got the receipts, honey, showing how Blake snatched Ben Affleck right from under her nose. And it ain't just Jen. Scarlett Johansson and even Kate Middleton jumped in the chat, talking about how Blake is causing drama for everybody in Tinseltown. So, grab your sweet tea, cause we're about to spill all the hot gossip. First up, Jennifer Garner has been holding onto some serious shade for Blake, and it all goes back to 2010, when Blake was on set with Ben for The Town. Now, at the time, Jen and Ben were supposed to be the picture of black love, with 3 kids, and celebrating their 5th anniversary. They were living the Hollywood dream, right? But behind that flawless front, mess was brewing. When Ben, who was also directing, cast 23-year-old Blake as his love interest in The Town, Yen's spidey senses started tingling. She knew something wasn't right. Now, come on now, can you blame sis for being suspicious? Ben was pushing 40, a whole 15 years older than Lil Miss Blake. And he went out his way to write in all them extra spicy makeout scenes? Lord have mercy. And the sparks weren't just for the cameras either. During the Town press tour, folks were whispering about how they were straight up flirting in their interviews. Okay girl, and it gets even messier. Right around the same time, Blake up and dumps her gossip girl boo, Penn Badgley. Coincidence? Girl, please. Now, here's where it gets real shady. Ben and Jen had already been through this cheating drama before. Remember back in 03, when Ben was supposed to be locking things down with J. Lo. He meets Jen Garner on the Daredevil set, and within months, both he and Jen are single and but up. History was threatening to repeat itself. You know what they say, what goes around, comes around. Now, insiders say Jen was hotter than a pepper sprout about this whole Blake situation, but she tried to keep it together for the kids. But the signs were clear that day that something was going on between Ben and Blake. The real kicker came in 2014, when Ben got offered a movie with Ryan Reynolds. Jen straight up told him nah, son. She blocked him from taking the role cause she knew she'd have to see Blake at all the Hollywood shindigs. One source spilled the tea, saying Jennifer Garner forbid Ben Affleck from working on the film with Ryan because she knew she'd have to interact with Blake Lively again after their affair. That ain't just being petty, that's a woman protecting her peace. And while Blake moved on to Leo and then Ryan, the damage was done. The trust was gone, and Ben started acting a fool, eventually messing around with the nanny before they called it quits in 2018. She was like, boy bye. Even to this day, Jennifer Garner be giving Blake Lively the coldest shoulder. We talkin' ice age levels of avoidance. When Jen worked with Ryan Reynolds on the Atom Project, and then again as Elektra in Deadpool and Wolverine, folks noticed she was nowhere near Blake. That shade? Honey, it's deep. But listen, Jen ain't the only one holding a grudge. If you thought that Ben Affleck drama was a whole mess, wait till you get the tea on what went down with Scarlett Johansson. ScarJo and Ryan Reynolds? They seemed like Hollywood royalty, married in 08 after just 6 months of datin'. But that happily ever after? Girl, it fizzled out quick, especially when Blake Lively sashayed onto the Green Lantern set in 2010. And just like with Ben Affleck, the whispers started immediately.
It was hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
well, hello.
Word on the street, honey, them Green Lantern folks been spillin' all the hot goss. They sayin' Ryan and Blake? Lord, they was getting real familiar on set. One insider done told me, straight up, they was ditching them trailers, heading to a hotel, shacked up together while they was supposed to be working. Now, the real kicker? Scarlett? She ghosted that Green Lantern premiere. Vanished. But guess who was holding hands on that red carpet? Ryan and Blake. Looking like they already said I do. Child, the disrespect. And just a month later, BM, Ryan and Scarlett announced they split. Now, Scarlett, she keeping it classy in public, but my sources say she been giving Blake the cold shoulder. Ice cold, avoiding eye contact, skipping events, the whole 9 yards. And here's the real tea. This ain't the first time. Ben Affleck, Ryan Reynolds. Blake got a habit of cozying up to folks already but up, and somehow, she walk away looking all sweet and innocent, while them other women gotta pick up the pieces. She playing games, and she playing 'em good. Now, Blake ain't just snatching husbands. She's throwing shade at royalty. Yes, honey, royalty. Remember when Princess Kate was going through it with that whole Photoshop fiasco? That family pic looking like a bad collage project? Well, Blake, bless her heart, saw that as her moment to promote her little fizzy drink, Betty Buzz. She dropped a picture, looking like a whole filter factory exploded, captioned, "Totally not photoshopped. Zero editing whatsoever, just flawless and perfect." Dear, the audacity. She was straight up mocking Kate. And Kate was already dealing with major surgery and the whole world watching her every move. But Blake? She thought it was the perfect time to sell some bubbly water. Now, Kate, being the queen she is, ain't saying a word. But best believe, them palace folks ain't playing. My sources tell me they was not amused by her little stunt. They saw that as some straight up childish behavior. And honestly, who can blame them? This Blake situation? It's a whole mess. This ain't just about breaking up homes. Honey, this is straight up shady behavior. She's out here Logan at folks' pain just to get hers. Talk about a whole lot of me, myself, and I. But it ain't just them fancy wives and royal folks throwing shade. Even her own crew be side-eyeing her. Now, you know Gossip Girl, right? Well, Leighton Meester, that's Blair, and Blake, that's Serena. On screen, they were tight, but off screen, they barely spoke. Them crew members said it was just a barely tolerant situation. See, Leighton was all about that work, that craft, but Blake? She was using that show to get them magazine covers and them fashion deals. And you know how folks get when you ain't keeping it real. So, when Leighton tied the knot with Adam Brody, guess who got left off the guest list? That's right, Blake Lively. And even Henry Golding, who had to work with her on a simple favor, was looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Honey, the tea is piping hot. Henry Golding said he was intimidated by Blake. But honey, the insiders say it was pure irritation. See, Blake was running that set like she was the director, the cameraman, and the snack lady all rolled into one. If her hair was out of place, or her makeup wasn't poppin', she'd halt the whole production. Talk about extra. And then there's Penn Badgley, her ex and Gossip Girl co-star. After they split, it was like a Cold War on set. Penn has been throwing shade for years, but the real kicker? He went on and on about how much he loved all his co-stars. Except Blake. That's a whole bless your heart moment right there. But hold up, cause it gets wilder. Let's talk about Anna Kendrick from A Simple Favor. They played best friend enemies, but it seems like that enemy part was real life too. See, Anna, she's that down-to-earth, funny type, but Blake? Apparently, she was acting like she was Queen Bey's personal assistant, with all the high-maintenance demands. These sources say they just didn't click, and I believe it. One birdie whispered in my ear that Anna was straight up fed up with Blake's diva antics. Apparently, Blake was showing up late to set, acting like the whole crew was just background noise in the Blake Lively spectacular. The tension was thicker than Grandma's gravy, honey. Anna was ghosting Blake on the gram, skipping promo events like they were the plague, and when they did have to do interviews together, Lord, the awkwardness was radiating off the screen like a heatwave. Now, when they announced A Simple Favor 2, folks were already clutching their pearls, wondering how Anna was gonna survive another round. Some fans were even saying they were boycotting the sequel cause of Blake's presence. And this ain't a one-time thing. Blake's got a reputation for rubbing folks the wrong way, yet she still manages to play the America's sweetheart card. How is she pulling that off? Even Leonardo DiCaprio, the ultimate Hollywood playa, couldn't handle her extraness. That's saying something. Okay, so, remember that hot minute in 2011 when Blake and Leo were a thing? Should have been a power couple moment, right? Wrong. It fizzled out faster than a cheap firework. Why? Cause, honey, Blake was doing the absolute most. Insiders say she was trying way too hard to get in with Leo's A-list crew, and Leo, he prefers his ladies chill. So, Blake was coming off as extra, and not in a good way. And the real kicker? She was sending him Barbie doll pictures. Like, a whole grown woman sending doll pics to Leo DiCaprio? Girl, bye. After that breakup, Leo bounced back to his model posse and acted like Blake didn't even exist. He's cool with his other exes, but Blake? Radio silence. So, when even Hollywood's top bachelor is running for the hills, you know something ain't kosher. Now, all this mess makes that whole Justin Baldoni situation make a whole lot more sense. Blake's whole butter wouldn't melt act? Honey, that facade crumbled. See, all that slick, manipulative mess she been pulling? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, let's talk about it. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that like button. And if you're new to the fam, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop the latest and greatest. Thanks for tuning in.